On this icon-shattering 100th episode, it's us versus him.
That doesn't look like MacGyver with a mustache on it.
It looks a little like you.
MythBusters takes on MacGyver in a quest for truth, justice, and a half-decent haircut.
MacGyver's been MythBusters' soul brother since we started.
The man who could surely build a particle accelerator from old underpants and chewing gum is finally being put to the test. We're restaging the stunts everyone took for granted back in the 80s. Like blowing a hole in a wall with just 1 gram of pure sodium.
This is for love, money, and science.
We'll build and try to fly a full-scale bamboo airplane to see if MacGyver really could have flown an injured hostage to safety.
Here it comes!
Then Jamie and Adam face the ultimate Mac challenge, blindfolded.
Be smart, boys. Don't try to escape.
It's a 4-part battle of wits between our boys, the clock, 2 hysterical henchmen, and the TV legend that is MacGyver. Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage.
Smells like science.
And Jamie Heineman.
Mush.
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience.
Arise, my son.
Joining them, Grant Imahara.
Warning.
Tori Belleci.
This seems like a really stupid idea.
And Carrie Byron.
That is messed up!
They don't just tell the myths,
Wow, I can feel the pressure.
they put them to the test.
The moment is finally here.
Indeed it is. It's the MythBusters MacGyver special.
It's time to take the antics of one Angus MacGyver, place him under the MythBusters microscope, and separate fact from fiction. Are you ready?
The fans begged for it, so we're doing it. Mac versus the MythBusters. He's one of the boys' all-time heroes. But there comes a time when the student must challenge the master.
Ask me why I'm swinging this bottle around.
Okay, why are you swinging this bottle around?
This has to do with the very first MacGyver myth we're actually testing, which we're calling sodium jailbreak.
In this episode, Mac needs a hole in a wall in a hurry. Knowing that alkaline metals react violently with water, he packs pure sodium inside a gel cap and drops it in a bottle filled with water. The capsule works like a fuse. By the time it dissolves, Mac and his special new friend have time to duck and cover. It's all very clever, but would it really work? Just to be safe, they wheel in a mobile, see-through laboratory for the small-scale tests.
Well, I pulled out the birds in a truck. It's got the whole clear side. I'm gonna park that outside Jamie's shop.
With Jamie scouting locations for the full-scale test, Tori volunteers to help Adam build the test rig. With a pulley, a weight,
Yeah, perfect.
a bowl of water, and a glass vial of metal sodium, Adam hopes to test the explosive potential without bringing the house down. They're using an open bowl of water, not a sealed bottle. So if there's any truth to this at all, we should get the show without the shrapnel.
I'll cut that string, break the glass that the sodium's in, release it into the water, and show us what happens.
Pure sodium is so volatile, it could even react with moisture in the air. So, better safe than singed.
That's why I am so well protected from any kind of splashback, toxicity, anything. Nothing can get inside my suit, and with the face shield on, I think I'm properly protected.
Giant banana number 2 reduces the risk by painting the tray with mineral oil. This gasoline byproduct stops alkali metals from reacting with atmospheric water.
Kind of like a cooking show, except it'd kill you.
Okay, so now it's sitting on the mineral oil. Everyone eyes open, this is for real. It's scary.
The sodium metal cuts just like butter.
Look at that!
Whoa.
That is far out.
So that, oh my gosh.
All right, so
That's just metal.
2 small slices make 1 thin gram, and that's exactly what MacGyver used to blow a hole in a wall.
1 gram of sodium. It looks so innocuous. It's part of table salt, for crying out loud.
Good luck.
I'll see you at the shield.
Be careful.
Hey, Adam's middle name is Careful. Then again, his last name is, well, let's get on with it. They'll do this test twice. First with the vial sitting on top of the water.
So this is sodium surface test in 3, 2, 1.
Wah, wah.
No, it's gonna take a second.
There you go.
That was cool.
It wasn't a single reaction. It was like a pow, 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 which actually lends credence to the MacGyver clip in which there are 2 bangs, not just 1.
But will this bonsai 4th of July ever be big enough to blow a man-sized hole through solid masonry? The boys repeat the test with a sodium vial immersed in water.
From what I understand from the science, being under the water is probably going to be less of a reaction than being on top of the water.
Interesting. Yeah. All right, let's find out.
This is sodium underwater in 3, 2, 1. That looks like it worked.
Yeah. Whoa! Well, that was a bigger one.
Yeah.
You have to wonder if Adam ever gets tired of being wrong. MacGyver got it right, and that's a good enough result for Jamie to call in the contractors.
Okay, you guys are gonna build a wall. We're gonna blow it up, but do a good job anyway. Let's go.
The scenery goes up in short time, and the stagehands await the star's brown carpet entrance. Today, the part of MacGyver will be played by Buster, once Jamie's made him decent. But pants don't always make the man. In this case, it's all about the hair.
That doesn't look like MacGyver with a mustache on it.
It looks a little like you.
Okay. Now, he buried the jar in the sand, right?
Yeah, but he kind of like, he did this, and then he did this.
Okay.
That kind of thing. So we just need a couple more bags that are cut open to make this look kind of good.
They've replicated the scene as best they can, but Adam's added a magnet to the trigger, so the boys can be sure they're safe behind the blast screen.
I put a little tiny bit of metal that will be in this pill in addition to the sodium. It's actually ferrous, which means it will be magnetized. I'll prep the sodium like this. I'll fill the bottle with water. When we're just about ready to go, I will carefully, ever so carefully, screw this down on top, retreat to behind the safety shield.
Then pull the magnet off the screw cap, dropping the pill in the water, and hopefully proving you can trust everything you see on TV.
Picture this. Mac G is stuck on a Colombian building site. Bad guys are approaching fast. He has to escape. What does he do? The only things around him, bamboo, duct tape, garbage bags, cement mixer.
What, no cars?
Conveniently no cars.
All right, so what does he do?
Wasn't it obvious? He builds an ultralight.
Given the right materials, there's almost no end to MacGyver's ingenuity.
You're doing good.
Imprisoned and surrounded, there's just one way to get the guy with a broken leg to freedom. Scratch build a 2-man airplane. They've seen how Mac did it, but it's worth giving some real ultralights the once-over.
I'm not sure if we have the right stuff. I just hope we don't have the wrong stuff.
Grant's checking out the engine, the propeller, and the control surfaces. In other words, any component that moves. As for Carrie,
My responsibility in building the ultralight is going to be the wings, so I'm really interested in the shape of them and to see how they compare to the MacGyver ultralight.
Tori's job is to study the metal frame, then build his own version from bamboo. But the MacGyver legend looms large.
I got mad love for MacGyver. I mean, I've been watching him since I was a little kid. And to try to build the things that he did, I'm not worthy. And I hope I don't disappoint.
Garbage bags and duct tape? I mean, really?
Well, that's the MacGyver blueprint, and they're stuck with it. And let's remember that someone, sometime, needs to fly this homemade airplane. It's time for some mile-high research.
Please take a moment to locate your emergency exits, keeping in mind that the emergency exits may be behind you.
One by one, Carrie, Grant, Tori, and their instructor pilots take to the air. Even by MythBusters' lofty standards, this is the thrill of a lifetime. But it's not just about the pilot. These frames are made from high-grade aluminum, not bamboo. The wings are made from nylon, not trash bags. And the engines are rated at 65 horsepower, 7 times more powerful than the motor Mac swiped from a cement mixer.
Oh my God!
Are they scared yet? You betcha.
That is cool! Yeah!
3 perfect three-point landings.
Oh my God.
But they know this is as good as it gets. Our intrepid co-pilots can bet all their frequent flyer points that their MacGyver knockoff won't be quite so reliable.
I think if I've learned anything today, it's that this is a very masterful piece of equipment. And I don't know if I can build something in 4 hours that's going to do the same thing.
There's no way anyone can build a full-size working airplane in 4 hours, or like 4 days. Still, the MythBusters have all they need to build this baby MacGyver style.
I don't know if this thing's gonna fly, but it's definitely gonna stay together. I think we start building everything out of bamboo and duct tape.
Carrie's concerned that MacGyver's wings look too flat, not the classic airfoil shape that makes powered flight possible. She's also worried about the sheer size of Mac's rear end.
Everything I'm building is completely based on the measurements that MacGyver calls out. The 9x6 tail pieces look ridiculous. So in the spirit of MacGyverism, and to make this really work and give this any chance of flying, I'm going to slightly tweak the dimensions and make them proportional to an actual ultralight.
Meantime, Grant's found himself a puny 9-horsepower cement mixer engine, just like the one Mac used.
Yeah!
And fitted a wooden propeller. At the very least, this mini motor needs to be strong enough to push the plane along the ground towards the cliff.
That looks really dangerous.
Contact!
And that's worth testing on a purpose-built, fully crewed go-kart.
How am I going to stop it? I don't know. I hadn't really thought of stopping it. Probably we're going to go the Fred Flintstone brake technique, which is we all put out our feet and try and slow it down.
If that prop breaks, a piece of wood goes flying and hits somebody, someone can be seriously injured. Let's try it.
Grant signs on as supercargo, so their total weight is close to a real ultralight. That's around 450 pounds.
Okay, here we go!
Straight as an arrow, but in takeoff terms, it's slower than Oscar night. Time to reassess their power to weight to altitude, whatchamacallit, back in the shop.
I don't think that we have enough horsepower to generate lift, but we do have enough to control our descent.
And we all know what that means. Here at MythBusters, controlled descent roughly translates to a crash in slow motion. But Mac faced the same problem. The cement mixer engine was too small to get him airborne. But once the plane dropped off the cliff, it did sustain flight. It's an added incentive to make sure this trash bag tricycle can at least glide to safety.
The only thing to become unhinged?
And so far, it all seems to be working. The tape and wire connections are holding fast. And the moving parts are, well, moving.
I was a little unsure about the whole bamboo and duct tape construction, but after putting some of this together and seeing how sturdy it is, I'm feeling like it's gonna be strong enough to hold up those wings.
But will the wings work?
Ta-da!
Perfect, beautiful, I love it, it's gonna work.
Carrie's bent some skinny bamboo to make an airfoil. But now she's had a crisis of confidence. Call it builder's remorse.
I have a feeling this thing is going to plummet to the ground like a rock. I went from totally optimistic to a little sketchy.
Tori's confident enough to set that front barrow wheel on the frame,
Great enough.
while Carrie begins the long and laborious task of taping all that plastic to the bamboo frame. Finally, Tori bolts on the tiny engine.
Perfect.
The build has taken 3 and a bit days, not 4 hours. So that's one part of this MacGyver myth well and truly busted. Then there's that awkward pause when someone really should offer to fly the darn thing. No one does, and you can't blame him. So Grant rigs up an RC unit.
MacGyver was using his feet to steer the rudder, but since none of us are going to be able to fly it, I've got this radio control system here. And so I move the stick, it moves the servo, and these lines pull on the rudder, moving that back and forth.
This is a rare moment in MythBusters history. The whole build has gone off without a hitch.
It's not that heavy.
It's not breaking.
That's good.
Now all they have to do is make it fly.
MacGyver's gonna be so proud of us.
Adam and Jamie are testing an explosive MacGyver myth. That 1 gram of reactive sodium metal packed in a pill and dropped in water could blow through a wall.
3, 2, 1.
They huddle behind the blast shield, waiting for that gel cap to dissolve so the sodium hits the H2O.
In less than a minute, we should see something. 50 seconds. Should happen any second now. Isn't it always like this? 110.
So what are we gonna do if it doesn't blow up?
I say we, wait the requisite 20 minutes and then approach it very cautiously.
After half an hour, there's nothing doing.
Trying not to break your arm here.
So Jamie rents out the latest in this season's line of bomb suits.
I feel like I'm ready to go out clubbing.
One small step for a man, one giant chance for Adam to sully the moment.
It's not dissimilar from how Jamie was dressed when he first came to Earth.
Odds are the reaction has occurred, but wasn't strong enough to break the bottle. Adam's already run some time trials to see just how long it takes a cap to dissolve in water. He filled this one with red pepper.
What we found on the show is that one of the most dangerous things that can happen is nothing.
And nothing is exactly what happened.
We're at almost half an hour and my gel cap still has not dissolved. That's going to be a long time for us to wait out on the site. So I'm going to try a second bottle full of hot tap water.
And that did the trick. Just 90 seconds later, catastrophic capsule failure.
It's just about to fail. There it goes.
They also used hot water on the bomb site, so surely Jamie's in no danger from a delayed reaction. Still, best policy is a quick prod with a hazmat-approved poking broom. It's not long before Adam gets the all clear.
Well, it certainly looks like some reaction has happened, and I don't see any sodium, and we put it in there, so the reaction happened without breaking the bottle.
Sadly, this is just what they predicted.
We saw a reaction in the lab, and it looks good, but a lot of times a little smoke, a little pop, or a little poof is, it's more bark than bite.
MacGyver's popularity and our kinship with him rests on him using what was at hand to do unconventional things.
In this test, we replicated exactly what we saw in the MacGyver episode.
Unfortunately for MacGyver, it doesn't seem to work in real life like it did in the show.
Sorry, Mac, but 1 gram of pure sodium won't blow a hole through toilet paper. And we've still got a wall to destroy.
So what are we doing?
Well, we're going to try and blow another hole in the wall, except I'm going to use a lot more sodium and a much bigger pill.
What, is that for a horse?
It is, in fact, for a horse.
Adam packs his horse pill with 100 grams of sodium metal.
A lot of sodium.
If there's any truth to the TV myth, this should settle things once and for all.
It's a dangerous amount of sodium to put in water. So I'm expecting big things from this.
Aren't we all? And
2, 1. hate this. Nothing's happening.
4.5 minutes later, the pill finally pops.
The point of failure was, of course, the wheat. Whoa!
2 explosions. Still barely enough to uncap the bottle.
Look, that's what's left of the gelatin capsule. That was an explosion, but this is not a high explosive.
But Adam and Tori pre-tested another alkaline metal that's even more volatile than sodium. It's called potassium.
And 3, 2, 1. Oh!
Hey, that was a good one. Still going. Whoa! Yeah! That was the best one so far.
Potassium definitely gives a bigger bang than sodium. So how can we resist a field test?
And our plan is to introduce potassium, which is far more reactive than sodium, into water in a metal pipe. Boom!
When we did the thing with the sodium, we used a chunk about the size of my thumb. This time we're going to be using a bunch of potassium, about this much.
The metal pipe is sealed at the back, and it's got a lip up here. It's going to hold water up to this line. In the back here will be 2 jars, each glass, each filled with 250 grams of potassium. Up here in these pipes will be a weight. There'll be a pin here which will pull from behind the blast shield, dropping the weight onto the bottle, breaking it, releasing the potassium into the water, and directing all the energy out the front through our wall, hopefully.
That's 500 grams of pure potassium. The Mac myth was 1 gram of less reactive sodium.
Now he's pushing the mortar up against the wall so that the only place the energy can go is right at that wall.
MacGyver never had it so good.
This is for love, money, and science. 500 grams of potassium. 3, 2, 1. Wow!
Well, that didn't make us wait.
It's a great show, but the wall hasn't budged.
MacGyver, my brother, my compadre, we have to take him down on this one.
We've sidestepped this result for far too long. It's absolutely, positively busted. But Jamie and Adam still have a wall to bring down.
We came here to get a hole in the wall, and darn it, we're going to get a hole in the wall. When in doubt, C4.
The great thing about working with JD is that when we said we want a hole in the wall, all he says is, how big?
JB rolls out the wire and sets the charge. This is how you unbuild a wall.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, that whole wall went away.
I think the wall might be gone.
Sorry about that.
The wall is rubble, but Buster MacGyver is still sitting pretty.
It knocked MacGyver's mullet right off his head.
But not the stash.
It's pretty definitive what it takes to get through a wall. And the alkali metals just ain't it.
So, how did MacGyver do?
Well, I'll tell you what I love about him is that his basic premise that alkali metals are reactive with water is sound.
Yeah, but the idea that you can use them to blow a hole in the wall, totally busted.
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 In this, our 100th episode, Tori, Carrie, and Grant have finished one of the great backyard builds of all time. They've made their own airplane.
I'm not flying economy anymore.
In tribute to kindred spirit Angus MacGyver. Now they need a place to launch it, and Tykert Aggregates has graciously supplied the runway and the cliff. This is a working quarry. A quarry that has one perfectly perilous 150-foot drop.
I am elated. I cannot believe we found such a perfect location. A flat road to a sheer drop-off, just like in the MacGyver clip. So excited to finally do this myth. This is my new favorite myth to do.
The plane was too big to transport home, so they'll piece it together on site.
This is gonna be fun!
Carrie and Tori have sensibly offered their rides to a pair of rookies.
There we go.
But as they start attaching those 2 massive wings, cracks are starting to show.
every once in a while, I hear like this loud crack.
With the added weight of the wings, some of the bamboo rods start splitting down the middle. This is catastrophe in the making.
The longer we have the wings on here, with all of this stress, the more cracking we're having. This needs to go off a cliff very, very, very soon.
In a desperate effort to staunch the split, they fit guy wires above and below to support the wings.
What I think is going to happen is we're going to lower the wings, and they're going to stay where they're at right now, and this thing's going to fly. That's what I'm hoping for.
It's an engineering principle that goes way back to the Wright brothers. Now, for the moment of truth.
3, 2, 1.
Hey! They're staying where they're supposed to stay. It's not cracking, and they're holding the wings up. I think
That looks good.
So they're almost ready to push this thing off a cliff as high as a 15-story building. MacGyver would be proud as punch.
Welcome to MythBusters. We are proud to say that we have a 100% crash rate. I'm sure you remember brace position. I'm scarred for life. Then we had jet taxi, where a small aircraft got blown by 747 engine 100 feet down a runway end over end. This might be the first MythBusters safe landing. Or it might not.
Okay, we all know that history is often more instructive than inspirational. And that prompts Grant to one last try.
Where are the seatbelts?
With Carrie and Tori as human ballast, he'll test the engine one more time. Grant checks his remote responses.
MacGyver to tower. Are we free for takeoff?
Clear prop.
Ooh, we're gonna die. Hold on tight. This could be really good or really, really bad.
It's highly unlikely they'll take off, but they are ready to roll.
We're moving! We're moving!
I know!
It's working!
12 seconds later, Grant cuts the engine. It's a total success.
You did it! We weren't going fast enough to get lift.
Yeah.
But if we get going fast enough to get off that cliff, we might actually get flight.
Oh my God! We MacGyvered it! We MacGyvered it!
They sure did. Now Buster and his partner in pain get taped into the cockpit.
Ah, there we go.
Nice.
All right.
We're just minutes away from the launch. Hopes are high, but predictions are predictably mixed.
I actually think there is a fair chance that we'll be able to get some sort of sustained flight.
I think this thing is going to go down the runway, get to the edge of the cliff, go off, but I'm afraid it's just going to fall flat and crash.
I have gone back and forth between it's gonna fly and it's not gonna fly.
That's a definite maybe from Carrie and a fair assessment of their chances. Tori starts the engine, removes the chocks, and runs for cover.
Ah, run, run!
4 days' work and MacGyver's reputation will be junked or justified in the next 5 seconds.
That was sick! It almost had flight!
It went like this.
Oh, just wasn't fast enough.
You know what, though? That did way better than I thought it was going to do. It actually kind of glided down till it crashed.
If that's a glide, I'd hate to see a plummet. There was just enough power to keep the 3 wheels airborne, but the tail looked more like a vertical plow. On a brighter note, Mac's passenger would have forgotten all about his broken leg.
I think MacGyver and his bamboo ultralight is busted.
Sadly, but true.
Busted.
Now, who's gonna go get all that stuff?
Well, you make the mess, you clean it up. It's an ugly ending, but things could have been a whole lot worse. There were times when they all considered flying the plane themselves.
Good news, I found the black box. It says we crashed.
But Carrie's determined to serve this disaster sunny side up.
The wings didn't fall apart. The frame basically stayed together. All of the elements worked. It's just it wasn't meant to fly.
So true and so busted.
So what are we looking at?
Well, the other team sent us this disc and said we have to watch it.
Okay.
All right, Jamie and Adam, we've come up with a few challenges for you two to do to see if you guys are undercover MacGyvers.
You're gonna need all of your ingenuity and experience for this one, and we're not gonna tell you the challenges.
That's right, because MacGyver never knew the challenges either. So, all you get to do is think on your feet and use whatever you have around you, because that's what MacGyver does.
Works for me.
This time, the MythBusters roles are reversed. They won't contest the myths, they'll defend them, reaching deep inside to find their inner MacGyver. It's a cunning four-tiered challenge that begins with a breakout and ends, hopefully, with a helicopter rescue from this makeshift enemy campsite. But the villains aren't home right now. They're building the jail that Adam and Jamie have to escape from.
Now, I voted for the island with the volcano in the middle, but apparently that was too expensive.
No kidding. But this two-room prefab prison is very MacGyver.
Now you can have your own evil lair in a matter of hours with our instant evil lair kit. It's so easy.
And the first challenge is to get from room 1 to room 2.
Now, what MacGyver did was smash the light bulbs and use the filaments to pick the lock. He did it in 52 seconds. We're giving the boys 1 hour.
The only thing I know at this point is that we're going to be put in some sort of a situation that we've got to figure out and deal with. That's it.
I know absolutely zilch about what we're about to encounter.
All right, let's go, you spies. We got you.
Out here, the people are real, the problems are real, and so is the contraband.
Make sure they're not hiding any tools.
All right. What's he got up on the side? He's got a whole metal workshop down here.
Oh my gosh, this guy's got freaking everything. He's got a fish tank. Look at this. Who do you think you are, Rambo?
Well, you can't blame a guy for trying.
Look at that! Look at that!
Then again, maybe you can blame a guy for trying.
I'm gonna have to touch the beret.
Stopping just short of a cavity search, it's time to wrap things up.
Who do you think you're messing with, huh?
Yeah.
Couple of amateurs. Be smart, boys. Don't try to escape.
Lock the door, okay?
With cameras and walkie-talkies in place, Tori and Grant call the shots from their bad guy van.
All right, you have 1 hour to get out of the room.
Oh, good rope tying.
Shut up.
Well, let's see what we got.
And there's worse news to come for the villains in the van. It's taken Jamie 2 seconds flat to get his first bright idea.
You've got to use the filaments from these light bulbs to pick that lock. The issue is going to be one of being able to actually insert this in and push up the pins. This wire is actually a little too fat, I think.
You could use one boot against the other if you took your shoes off.
Yes, that's true.
Look at that. He's using the steel toe in his boot as a hammer and anvil to flatten the filament so it'll fit into the keyhole.
Mind if I take a stab at this?
Go for it.
Well, Adam's got the filaments, and he has lockpick experience.
Should we just pump in the nerve gas now?
There's no need to play rough just yet. Our two mock MacGyvers might well have remembered the light bulb stunt from TV. That doesn't necessarily make them smart, and it sure doesn't mean they can pick this lock.
You want to give it a shot?
After a few minutes, Adam hands over to Jamie.
Currently, they're at 12 minutes. It took MacGyver 52 seconds. It seems that the filaments are a little bit too big to fit in the lock.
Starting to get into the psychology of this lock.
And this is one deeply troubled doorknob. The doctors talk tactics.
Any of these tumblers have to go up or down, right?
Everything has to go up. It's just a matter of how much.
Oh, okay.
They swap again, hoping Adam's misspent youth might finally prove an asset.
I like that they're tag teaming. When one gets tired, then the other one picks up.
But time is fast running out.
10 minutes left.
Tell you what, if I get it to turn, I'm kicking the door down.
But it looks like Adam can afford to spare those steel caps.
I got it.
No way.
That's a successful pick. Let's hope I'm turning it in the right direction.
to go there, buddy.
Challenge number 1, no challenge at all.
I gotta say, I am suffering right now from the sin of pride. I taught myself how to pick locks when I was 17, and the key turned out to be Jamie mentioning that I could use my 2 steel toes of my boots as a hammer.
And there's a nice bit of symmetry between Mac's efforts and the MythBusters.
MacGyver did it in 52 seconds. Adam did it in 52 minutes. The difference is that MacGyver is fictional and Adam is real. That's amazing.
Is this another one we have to break out of?
Now the second test, they have to develop a roll of film with directions to the camp with only orange juice and ammonia. Are they gonna be able to do that? I highly doubt it.
That's because there's so much more in this pretend pantry than just OJ and ammonia. The boys have to choose 2 common kitchen liquids that also work as film developers and fixers. They're welcome to drink the rest.
That was out all night.
How good is your film chemistry?
Well, I see there's baking soda over there. We got some basic chemicals. We got something that's acidic.
Look, he's going for the orange juice.
We got ammonia. Yes, there's ammonia.
Oh, he's already got the ammonia!
And you know what? We're gonna need a dark room. And
Garbage bags.
Garbage bags ought to do that.
Oh, that was easy. Why don't we just give him a dark room?
Because that would also be far too expensive and not nearly as much fun.
The question is, what's the chemistry of developing film?
Now, here's a moment you'll want to savor. Turns out Adam once had a job as a film processor.
I've used film chemicals.
He knows they'll need acids and bases, but he can't recall which one is the developer.
Are they alkaline?
No, they're acidic, because you have to wear rubber gloves to develop film.
Well, alkaline would cause that reaction as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Their first best guess is a bath in baking soda with a water rinse.
All right, I've got the film. It's in my hand.
I don't know that you're going to be able to tear that, are you?
Actually, when I was a film projectionist, I believe you can. Hold on. Yep.
Yes, you heard right. Adam also worked as a projectionist. And a fat lot of good that's
All
doing.
right, I'm dipping it into the solution now, and I'm moving it around inside the baking soda slurry. Wish I remembered high school chemistry.
Oh, there's a phrase you'd never hear from MacGyver. And he'd probably give the film more than 2 minutes to develop.
Is that just the leader, or?
Yeah, it is, but I mean, I should be getting something off of it, and I'm not.
The next solution is giving a few frames of film the old double dip. First ammonia, then baking soda. They haven't even considered the wine, the coffee, or the OJ.
Jamie has opted to stir the ammonia with his finger.
Well, his hand is synthetic.
This strange brew is also a dead loss.
Nothing. No reaction. I don't see any secret plans.
The unfortunate thing is that they've got less than half an hour left. And by our estimate, it should take 10 minutes in the developer before you then wash it and fix it. They are running really short on time.
To properly develop those campsite directions inside the allotted hour, they need to make the right choice right now. Adam digs deep to remember details from the old days.
There was a couple of chemical baths, and then you rinsed the thing off in water. I don't remember what the chemical baths were, but I believe it was a 3-step process. 1 bath and the 2nd bath, then the rinse.
Did they just figure that out?
Dang it! How do they know?
Well, maybe they don't. With 12 minutes remaining, Adam and Jamie cut the film roll in 2, soaking 1/2 in ammonia and the other in orange juice.
We're running out of time, so we're hedging our bets. We've got half the film in an acid, we've got half the film in a base.
Time is almost up, so they'll dunk each roll of film in the alternate bowl to arrest any possible development.
So now I'm going to pull the film from one and put it in the other, and vice versa.
The OJ to ammonia shuffle might work, so long as they don't let the light in too soon.
All right, you want to pour some water in 2 of those coffee cups for me? Go. We got nothings. Nothings.
They can't just wash it in water.
All right, you guys.
It's been an hour and you haven't done it. I'm sorry, but you failed.
At least they're having fun.
You guys were close, though, in developing that film. The way you're supposed to do it, you stick it in the orange juice for 10 minutes, and then you put it in the ammonia as a fixer.
But you gotta keep it all in the bag the entire time. If it gets exposed to any light, it doesn't work.
Oh, the one thing that we didn't try.
Adam knows that ultimate success all depends on just where your head's at, or at least what's in it.
The problem with me is that I know all the lyrics from every song from the 70s, and there's no more room in here.
Adam and Jamie are halfway through their 4-part MacGyver challenge. So far, the good guys and the bad guys are all squared up at one apiece. Just so this great escape doesn't come to a grinding halt, Tori and Grant deliver the vital campsite directions our MacGyver wannabes failed to find on the film.
Dude, it's a clue.
All right, you have 1 hour
To complete your task, boys.
Don't forget your compass and don't get lost.
Well,
You need to make a compass, don't we?
I think we do.
Right on, Jamie. And the first thing you need to make a compass is a magnetized piece of metal. Adam wastes no time building an electromagnet from batteries, tape, and insulated wire.
Jamie has taken apart the cheese grater, and Adam's using that to shave off the insulation.
Truly inspired, the boys know they can magnetize a paperclip by repeatedly passing it over another large magnet.
They're acting like they've done this before.
They might have.
I think they may have.
I think this is all you have to do to magnetize it.
I'm pretty sure it'll work.
Ooh, that's starting to heat up.
Oh, right, yeah, because I'm short-circuiting. Oh, wow.
Damn it!
That's a very good sign. Once the clip is stuck in a cork and floated in water, it should point magnetic north. And it does.
Nice. We were able to wrap wire around the screw and attach it to the batteries, and when you do that with electricity, run it through a wire that's wrapped around an iron or metal core, you get a magnet. And that puppy pointed north, really nice and true.
They're gonna see our surveillance van. Let's go! Our cover's blown!
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Grant and Tori see the good guys are off and running. So they follow suit.
42, 43, 44.
You mean the sniper rifle?
No.
We might have to take him out.
That's north, that's west. We want to go northwest, which is whoopah, that way. 200 paces. There we go.
The compass seems to be working, and so far, our likely lads are well inside the time limit. While the scoundrels practice their semaphore, Adam, Jamie, and their entourage are more or less headed for home.
99, 200. Okay, this is 200 paces northwest, and there's nothing here, no secret compartment. However, a cursory glance around shows a tarp over there. I think that is our secret campsite.
Seems the compass isn't perfect, but it's good enough.
We found the secret campsite with a mechanical compass we made ourselves.
It's hard to miss a blue tent in a green field. So in less than 30 minutes, it's 2-1 to the MacGyver good guys.
Congratulations, you guys. You made the compass.
And you found our campsite. You completed test number 3. Awesome. And now it's on to test number 4.
There's no way they're gonna pass this last one.
Then we've got to signal this plane, this helicopter at 3 o'clock.
In true MacGyver style, Adam and Jamie have to contrive some sort of rescue signal that flies at least 100 feet high. And they can only use what they find in the campsite. Grant and Tori have already planted all the fixings for a potato cannon. The fuel is hairspray, ignition comes from the camp stove, potatoes are plentiful, and PVC pipe should make a perfect mortar.
I think that's a pretty standard backyard thing to do. At least I imagine what standard backyard things to do would be for Adam and Jamie.
Clearly, Grant's never seen Jamie's backyard. He's thinking way outside the square.
The main thing that hits me is that it's windy and there's components for a kite here, a rather large one even.
It's the last thing the bad guys expected.
That's a kite.
They're building a big giant kite. That wasn't the plan, but I like it.
There's your tail.
Yeah, I think they're using the original rope we tied them up with for a tail.
Building the kite takes no time at all. But getting it up is sucking away the minutes.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Watch out! No. Make it upright!
Jamie is trying to hold it in place to catch some air, but it's just a big sail out there.
You know, they only have 10 minutes left. They have their kite built, but they haven't been able to get it off the ground.
Time is running out. I hope they get it up. Oh my God! It's up! Come on! Go down! Come on!
Grant's not sure which side he's batting for, but Tori's determined to be there for the kill.
All right, I'm gonna go get in the chopper. If they can't get that up to 100 feet and I don't see it in the chopper, I'm not rescuing them.
All right.
And we got liftoff.
Jamie and Adam have one last shot at a miraculous MacGyver-esque rescue.
And we got like 2 minutes to go. You ready for another flight?
Yeah, we got to get it up there. Get me over there!
Going this way doesn't help.
Right now they're struggling with the kite. It's still on the ground. They need to get it to at least 100 feet.
None too soon, it's airborne.
At about 20 feet. It's up!
Finally, right on time, the tent kite flies just as high as the chopper.
You know what? I'm gonna call it. There it is. There's the signal. That kite has reached 100 feet. We've seen the signal. Let's land this chopper and rescue our boys.
That was it. That's all we can do. I hope they saw us.
They did see you, and good sports that they are, they don't want to kill you.
Hey, how do you like that?
You did it! Good job, you guys. You've been rescued.
Awesome.
Get out of here.
Get to the chopper.
We were just about 100 feet and the kite was right there next to us.
That's beautiful.
I cannot believe they got it up that high. We were trying to direct them to make a potato gun, and they went around the backside and made a kite, and they signaled a chopper. Those guys, they're good. They are good.
MacGyver 1, MythBusters 3.
But a win for the boys really is a victory for MacGyver as well. We finally proved that some of Mac's exploits aren't so far-fetched. And for once, in this, our 100th episode, we can safely say you can try this at home. Just be real careful with the helicopter.